Okay, hey, we are recording. And so this is something just a little bit different than when we've been doing. This is episode 5 of Stay Wild Child. And I thought we would have a great treat. I have Awen on with us today and her daughter, Lexi. And she is all into essential oil and holistic healing. And I have been blessed to try some of her bath products before. And so I thought it would just be cool to have her on, especially with the holidays approaching, and just teach us some cool things about what you can do with essential oil, and some gifts that you can make for people, some gifts that you can make for yourself. This is all about empowering women. And so you want to make gifts for yourself as well as for others. I plan on making it for all of my neighbors. And so, hi, Awen. Hi, Lexi.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much. So why don't you just share just a little bit about kind of what got you into essential oil, what got you into this healing modality, what got you into I know that some things have really transformed in your life. So just share just a little bit about yourself, just to start off.
Okay. Let's see. So when I was younger, I remember reading like 17 magazine in the 80s and seeing the little recipes that they would have in there for making your own face mask with, honey and avocado and all of these little natural ingredients. And I was always interested in that stuff. And I thought it was really cool. But then there was a part of me that always thought, oh, that's fun, but it's not as good as the stuff that you buy in the store.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And go sit down for this right now. And so I kind of let that go. And then I thought the more ingredients it had, the fancier scents that they, had on there. Like I remember whenever I would have my laundry soap, I would always get the Tide with the Febreze scent and the boosting this and that and all the fancy buzzwords that they could put in there, the better. And so I was just full of all kinds of products. I had toxic air fresheners in every room of my house because I liked everything to smell pretty and nice. And my health, just started really going downhill. My weight was really up and my body was just failing. I was really overweight and I had fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, and I could just barely move, yet I had to because I was homeschooling my daughter and we had to go.
Right.
Yeah. Decided it was time for changes, and I detoxed myself with food as medicine, and I discovered essential oils whenever I was trying to clean up my environment in my house. Mm-hmm. I loved things to smell nice, and I would always go to that bath store that always had beautiful scents coming out.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yes, and I had their plugins everywhere. And so I realized through my research that was not good for me to be breathing and Febrezing all of my couches and everything like that. So I thought I'd look into making my own things. And so I started looking into essential oils, just thinking it was for scents.
Right.
Yeah. Then the more I learned, the more I realized, oh, this is really great to help you medicinally and supporting your body in many, many ways. And so I just dove right into that. And that was like 5 years ago. And now I'm back to making my own products and just really having lots of fun with it. And they're actually even better than all of those products that have all of the fancy labels and all of that. The amazing benefits that each ingredient has on its own is just amazing. And then when you combine them together, it's like a superpower. It's like you're not just cleansing your body, you're nourishing it, you're moisturizing it, you're sealing in the goodness, and you're you're helping your body heal itself, and it's just amazing. It's more than you would think. So.
It is, you know, and I honestly, I've always tended towards, like I've known about essential oils for probably, I don't know, probably 7 or 8 years now. One of my neighbors is a good friend, and she's pretty much only used essential oils on her kids. Like I think maybe one of them has had antibiotics twice, and one of them has maybe had it one time. Just, you know, they just couldn't get rid of whatever it was. But for the most part, you know, and so she's taught me a lot about essential oils. But really, you know, you don't think about all the things that are in bath products. So I would say probably just over the last 2 years have I really been aware of it. And I'll tell you what happened. My niece, I was staying with her, and her chest was breaking out. And she's, you know, a teenager and not wanting her chest to break out, you know, with the, you know, her clothes that she was wearing and things like that. And so I mentioned to Kelly, I said, you know, Avery's chest is breaking out. And, you know, she goes, I wonder if she's allergic to parabens. And I said, oh, parabens. And she said, yeah, it's in so many bath soaps. She said, so you really have to look at the labels. And she said, so if you're looking for something, you know, you want to look for, you know, like paraben free. And I thought, God, that makes a lot of sense. So she had been to that bath store, and she had bought some spray, just some body spray, and she'd been spraying it. And I watched her do it for like 4 days in a row. She was spraying it, you know, all over her chest. And so her chest was breaking out. And so we switched. And this is probably before I met you and got some of your bath soaps and things like that. But so I just went and got some Jason's, I think it's paraben free, and got some of that. And she started using it, and she's like, oh my gosh, my chest is clearing up. And I said, okay, stop using that bath spray too. You know, stop using that body spray, because, you know, you're just spraying it. You'd be spraying it right back on your skin. And she's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I've just started opening my eyes to those kinds of things, and, you know, slowly start to switch the products out in my home. And then when this last QRT tour, I know I bought your bath salts the first QRT, but the second one, I bought the bath soap. Oh my gosh, it's fabulous. I just absolutely love it. Yeah, it's so cool. So cool. And I just, it's something that you can share with so many people.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Did you want to say something just real quick?
And it's not just soap. It can be hand soap. It can be foot soap. It can be body soap. It can even be shampoo. I took a shower this morning with my mom, and she shampooed my hair, and now it's really nice and soft, and it works for curly hair and straight hair, and so it's very useful for all of those things.
Wow, that is so cool. There's so many things you can make, huh? Mm-hmm. I like it. And that's really awesome that your mom gets to stay home with you and homeschool you. I bet you guys have lots of great adventures together.
Yeah. And there's lots of different oils, and sometimes oils are too strong for like kids or some people, so there's diluted versions, and there's like this kid pack which has like this oil called Steady, which helps me calm down, and Stronger, that helps me when I'm like aching. And yesterday I had this really bad stomach ache because I ate too much of my dinner or something, and so there's this oil called Tamer, and you rub it clockwise on your stomach, and it really helps it. So it immediately felt better.
It did, so it made your belly calm down. That is so great. Oh my gosh, you know so much about oils. That's so awesome. I love that your mom teaches you all this stuff. That's cool. Yeah. So are y'all going to make something for us and show us how it's done? Okay, I'm excited. I'm going to switch the screen to full view. That way we can be centered on Awen.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, it's a really cool recipe because it is very versatile, like Lexi was saying. I like to make a batch of it, kind of plain, and then you can have that as your base, and then you can make it into different things. So it's a pretty simple recipe. It's just has like raw honey.
Okay.
And Castile soap.
So the raw honey, is it different than honey that you use, like, you know, like in your hot tea or something like that? Is raw honey different?
Well, you can use raw honey in your tea. It's different than a lot of your other honeys that you just might find in your grocery store. It's not been processed as much, so it has a lot of the really great health benefits still intact in it. And if you could find some locally, that's even better, because if you use it medicinally and some of your other kinds of potions that you take internally, then you can also get the benefits from the pollens that are in your area. It can help with like allergens and things like that. But if you don't have any access to some really nice local raw honey, then this is a really great brand that I use, and you can get it on Amazon.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I had heard that before about honeys, is that if you can get it local, it's better because it'll help with allergies and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
good.
Yes. So it's just equal parts is a really great thing for just a basic recipe. So 1 part of the honey, and then 1 part Castile soap. And I like this brand. It doesn't have the palm oil in it, which is good. And it's just the unscented one. And this is just the coconut oil, olive oil, castor oil, argan oil, jojoba oil, hemp oil, and just 2 other little ingredients. And so all those oils are really amazing for you too. And so that's the soapy part, the Castile soap. And then you add an oil of your choice. You could use sweet almond oil. You could use jojoba oil. You could use grapeseed oil, avocado oil. This is the one I'm going to use. It's argan oil.
Okay.
So this is a really great one. It's really amazing and moisturizing for your skin. And like Lexi was mentioning, I've recently started experimenting with this being kind of like an all-in-one soap. So I've actually used it on my hair.
Oh, okay.
So like a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio, like a cup of each might be too much for some people's hair. So you can just cut back on the oil portion. You can just do like a cup of honey, a cup of the Castile soap, and then like maybe half a cup of the oil, depending on what kind of hair type you have. If you wanted to use that, I was just thinking for like, if you're gonna go travel and you just wanted to take like, you know, 1 little bottle with you that does it all, it does. It's amazing for each. And the argan oil is moisturizing for the hair, and is also like a hair sealer. So it's like a really great one for all-in-one. And then also it makes a great shaving oil soap, like for like shaving your legs or something. So it's really great for all-in-one. So I have just a scale here, because I'm gonna measure it by weight just to make it easier, because the honey is so sticky.
Oh yeah, it's probably hard to get it in those cups and then get it all out of it. So yeah, I don't blame you at all measuring it like that.
Yeah.
By the way.
So I just started out in the bowl that I'm going to mix it in, and then I'll zero that out. And then I usually add the oil first, just so that the honey won't stick to the bowl as much. I'll just kind of have it go all around the bowl.
And so is this your argan oil then?
This is the argan oil, yeah.
And I've heard amazing things about argan oil. I mean, it's kind of a buzzword right now, as far as the qualities that it has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a really great all-around oil that is beneficial for all parts of your body. So that was about 7 ounces I'm just doing kind of like a big batch for myself because I also am out. So
Perfect.
Oops, that was the soap. That is fine. I added a little bit of soap. I usually do that after, but that's fine. So that's a quarter. So I messed up on that one. Never mind. Lexi distracted me. All right, so this is the honey. So now I'm going to add in an equal amount of honey that I put in for the oil.
Okay.
But if you wanted to make it less oily, that is fine. That is the one ingredient that you can change. So the soap and the honey, equal parts. The oil is up to you, but I usually do equal parts just to make it easy.
So the one that I picked up, so you and I met at Quantum Revolution Tour, and it's where I got some bath salts from you, and then I also got some bath wash, and I've actually just used it on my body. I haven't used it on my hair, but I could use that on my hair as well.
The one that I made at QRT was equal parts. So for your hair, it might be a little too oily, but it would be great if you were gonna use it as a like a one-time thing. It would like kind of do like a deep moisturizing kind of a thing, and then you could always wash it out with your own shampoo afterwards if it ends up leaving too much behind.
Sure. Yeah. So if it left too much of a residue, because I know your hair texture and my hair texture are quite different. I'm kind of fine, thin hair, and you seem to have pretty thick, curly hair. So, yeah.
Mine loves all the extra moisturizer. That's why I tested it out on Lexi, because her hair is much thinner. So I'm kind of in the experimental stage with that right now, and it worked really nice, but it did leave it a little bit too oily, and that was with equal parts. So if I were to do it for her, I would probably do less oil for that one. But if you just want it for just your body wash, I would just do equal parts, because then it gives you lots of nice moisture in that. So adding in the honey.
That is a really thick honey.
Yeah, that is a very thick honey. Okay, so there. Now I've got equal parts honey in there. Now I'm going to take you over to the stove.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so just to help with the honey, since it is so thick, I have a light over here that I thought was on. Let's see, where we go. Oops, it's not plugged in, I guess. Thought it was. Okay, let's see.
Yep, gotcha.
Okay, so raise you up a little so we can see here. There we go. So I've got like a double boiler kind of going on.
Right.
So the honey has a chance to melt a little bit more. And
makes sense.
With the oil.
Sure. I was actually wondering, like, how the heck are you going to mix that honey in that oil? Oh, you're going to use a double boiler. That's how it happens.
Yes. So that'll just heat up the honey and make it a little bit softer. And then I have also got this little immersion blender thing that I'm going to mix it up real good. So yeah, the stuff at QRT, I used jojoba oil for that one.
Okay.
And another really cool thing is with the bath salts that I had there, if you put some bath salts in your hand and then you add a little bit of this bath wash to it, then you have like a really great salt scrub.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then with this bath wash that we're making too, it's really also great for your face. And so if you added a little bit of like brown sugar with a little bit of this in your hands, it would be a great like face scrub.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very versatile and it's really awesome. So I'm going to turn on my little mixer just real quick. Hopefully it won't be too loud, just to see what happens. Yeah. So,
okay. Mine goes super fast. Like
I was gonna use this one to try it out. but I think I like the other one better. This is the one that has the little blade in it.
Oh, yep.
And I'm going to use that one because it's not going to spray everywhere as much.
Right. I know mine does exactly the same thing.
Okay. So.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I see it.
So it mixes really good.
Nicely.
Yeah.
A double broiler is just hot water, right? So like you would melt chocolate or something on the stove.
Exactly. Yeah. Just boil some water and then just stick a glass bowl on top of it with your ingredients in it. And that way it'll heat it up and get it warm without it burning.
Sure. Right. Okay.
So we could probably go a little longer with that if we wanted to, but just to save on time for all you guys, we'll call it good. So now I'll add the soap.
Okay.
And then that's what really, because like right now the oil and the honey will start to separate again.
Right.
But once the Castile soap gets added to it, then it just really comes together.
Okay. It kind of like holds it together.
Right. And I actually already pre-measured it here, so it's mostly ready to go. Let's see.
And the one that I bought from you, I think it separated just a little bit, but I just kind of shake it up before I use it.
Exactly. Once it starts to sit for a little bit, the oil will separate again, but yeah, you just shake it up and it will come all back together again and you won't even see it.
So I was looking around on Pinterest for different recipes for bath soaps and things like that. I love Pinterest. It's like, sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming with all the information that it gives you from so many different people's recipes. But somebody mentioned vitamin E oil. Have you ever used that in any of your concoctions?
I do, and I have some. I haven't added any to this just because a lot of these ingredients have that in it already naturally.
Oh, gotcha.
But you could. And the argan oil too, if you use argan oil, it acts as a natural preservative too, which is really cool.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what the argan oil and the vitamin E, like those are preservatives basically?
Yes, vitamin E also has some other benefits too besides that, but yes, it does help with that.
Okay.
So let's see, now you see, I don't know if you could see good in the camera, but now it's just really mixed up really beautifully.
Yeah, it looks great. You can see it real well.
Yeah, it's super fast and it's really simple. Just remember 1 to 1 to 1, whatever volume you want to make. The oil is up to you, what you want to use. And then once you have this base, then you can get real crazy with it by adding the essential oils and doing whatever you want with it from there. Like if I were to put this in my hand soap dispenser, I would add some On Guard to it. Then it's this really great protective soap that you can use for getting your hands clean before you work with food or something. And then if you wanted to, you could add scents that are more for like your husband or something, like some cedar wood and some spruce and some of those kinds of manly scents. The ones that I used for QRT Kansas were Citrus Bliss and lavender.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the Citrus Bliss. She's so Vanna White.
Citrus Bliss is actually my favorite.
You know what? It's my favorite too. I love that scent.
Yes, it's very natural and it smells really nice.
I've been putting Citrus Bliss. And what's the cinnamon oil?
Well, they have cinnamon oil. They have cassia, which is also cinnamony. Okay. Yeah.
But I put 1 drop of that and then like 8 drops of the citrus bliss because that cassia is it's very strong.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it definitely has a holiday smell. So
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, that's what's so fun about this recipe, because then you can do whatever you want. You could use some of the holiday scents. They have like holiday peace, and they have, yeah, you can make Christmas soaps. You can make soaps that are going to help you just like right before bed. You could use some Serenity, and that would be amazing, like right before going to bed, that kind of a bath wash.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
So how many drops of essential oil do you use?
Right, that's what I was just going to say. So for like a cup of body wash, you could probably use 30 to 60. Okay. Depending on how strong you want it and like who's using it. Like if you're going to make it for a little one, you might want to be a little bit more liberal on the a little ease back on the oils for if you're going to use it for the kids. And then if you put it like a whole bunch into a bulk thing, and then you can just get a bunch of different little containers, and then you can just add the essential oils directly to this to make your different scents. So like you could have a bunch of different bottles, and then each one can be different. Each one can be stronger or lesser. So that the amount of drops is really a personal thing, depending on how much you want in there. But a 30 to 60 for a cup worth is a good ratio to go by.
And also this soap makes good bubble bath, actually. One time, Dad was filling up my bath, and then a whole bottle of it accidentally tipped into the bath. And then and then I walked in, and I was just like, whoa, Mom, you made me a bubble bath. And she's like, I didn't make you a bubble bath. And then we figured out it was that soap. And so it was really fun.
Yeah.
So it makes, I love bubble baths. It's one of my favorite things. So I'm glad you gave me that tip, because I will definitely be using it for a bubble bath for sure. So Awen, do you so I know that I've bought your soaps at QRT before. Do you do this? Do you go to like farmers markets or vendor fairs?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I've thought about it, so I might, but I haven't yet. Yes.
I was just curious. I loved it. I didn't save any of my bath salts that you gave us. I used those like immediately, but yeah, it's just so. I love the bath. It's one of my favorite things. I'm glad I started it when I was young, because there's so many people who are like, ooh, a bath, and I'm like, yes, a bath. They're the best things ever. And so it was just such a treat to be able to, after we've been doing, some healing work during the day, and then just to go in and take a nice luxurious bath with your beautiful soaps and salts that smell just so delicious and so healing. So
thank you. And yes, with the ones I made for QRT, I did infuse it with some of my energy and intentions, and a little bit of light language in there to really give it that extra boost. And the bath as a ritual is very important. And I actually made up my own little bath ritual to go along with some of these things. One of the like for like detoxing, I mean, bath salts is like a whole other thing, but it's like once you are done with the bath, one little cool tip is as the water is draining out, you can kind of still keep laying in the bath and just kind of visualize all the stuff that you released during your bath. It just kind of pulls away from your body. Close your eyes, and you could just kind of, as the water is draining, it just kind of pulls it away from your skin, and then just let it all just drain down the drain. So yeah,
such a great visual. Yeah. What you got, Lexi?
With these bath soaps and salts, even without any bath toys in the bath, I just like to close my eyes and just relax in the bath, and I actually like baths better than showers, actually.
Really?
And also, sometimes we just do this little thing where we put a bunch of bath salts and soaps in the water and just soak and relax, and we put candles everywhere in the bathroom, and we just close our eyes and listen to some music, and it's awesome.
It's such a beautiful ritual, and your mom's teaching you young, which is great. You should be able to teach this to your kids one day if you decide to have them, right? Yep. Well, it's funny. I'm sitting right here on my desk. I picked up some cute little tags, and then I got this, I think it's called washi tape, but it's got, you can see it, but it's got like little bumblebees on it. And so I thought that would be fun for like the little homemade bath soaps that I plan on making. So
we have a bunch of those.
Yeah.
You do? You got a lot of that? It's
like
so
a whole drawer full.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to craft, isn't it? I love it when the weather starts getting a little cooler and you can start crafting and then making things for your friends and family. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another thing that I made for QRT, but I didn't actually put it out because I ran out of arrowroot powder. And the ratio was off, so I wasn't really happy with the way it felt. But you can make some really great homemade body powder, too.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is, because the talc powder is just not so great for you to be breathing. But I love, because my intention was to have like a little kit that was just what you guys needed. So you had your bath salts and you had your wash to just, cleanse and scrub and whatever. And then afterwards, then you can put on this really nice bath powder because I always like to have that smooth, dry feeling.
I do too. I like it too.
Yeah, so this has stuff in it like, the bentonite clay, arrowroot powder, lavender powder, aloe vera powder, all kinds of really great nourishing things for your body, but then it's not bad for you to be breathing when you put it on your body. So there's amazing things that you can make for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with, the Johnson & Johnson.
Exactly.
The powder. I mean, we used that a lot when I was growing up. And who knew that it had so much stuff in it? So that's so neat. I mean, I'm especially like for new mamas, who want to powder their babies because it gets it's wet down there, and you want to use some kind of powder. That's so awesome that you can make that. So it's arrowroot. I'm not familiar with these things. So say it one more time.
Arrowroot powder, bentonite clay,
okay,
and lavender powder, because I also did the Citrus Bliss lavender scent for the powder, and I don't have my list right next to me. Let's see, aloe vera powder, which is awesome. So that gives you some moisturizing with it.
Absolutely, yeah, that's so cool. Well, I bet young mamas are going to love that. That's such a cool thing that you can make, because moms are into, making baby food, because we used to just buy all that stuff. And now, moms are into, making their own baby food. And I mean, now they can make their own products for their kids.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I really started getting back into this, was because of my daughter and wanting to make sure that I put the best I could on her. So,
yeah. So how has your health improved since it's been about 5 years, huh?
Yes, amazing. So I released 110 pounds and then, thank you, and healed a lot of the fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue and all of that. That's pretty much behind me. I'm just working on strengthening my body, because after so many years of not being able to move it just got weak, the muscles and everything. So now I'm using mindful movement to get my body back into shape as far as the muscles and all of that. Because when I released the weight, it was mainly just through food. And so now I'm bringing in all of the exercise to help my body in that way.
Oh, congratulations. What a great journey. And I'm so glad that you were able to figure it out. What a blessing. And I'm sure that you're a blessing to a lot of people. And I saw that you just hit a rank with doTERRA. You just earned a rank or a bonus or something.
Yes. I reached executive.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Really, really wonderful. Yeah. got a great mentor with Lisa too. So I'm sure it's working hand in hand with her.
Definitely. Yes. Yes. I purposefully joined her team. I've been with Tara for about 5 years now. But when I met Lisa at the first QRT, I was like, okay, I gotta go for there. So I just switched over, and it's been amazing. So happy.
Oh, good. Yay. Well, I just so appreciate you. I know this is going to be like, I know that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I got to make this for Christmas gifts, or, you know, Hanukkah gifts, or any other holiday that they want to give a gift. So I appreciate you sharing this with us. And Lexi, thanks so much for popping on and helping your mom.
You're welcome.
Good seeing you and good talking to you. And I'm going to get this uploaded to YouTube, and I'll get it over to you. And then that way you can share it too, Awen.
Okay, great. I was just pouring this out for you guys so you can see.
Oh, cool. Yeah, perfect.
How beautiful it comes out.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. It's like so smooth.
Yes, it's great. And then I just have it in my little jar here. And then now I can just put it in all my little individual containers and add all my oils and spread it out.
Absolutely. I mean, that made a tremendous amount.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just for one part of each, and you can make however much you want. Just, you know, yeah, one cup of each thing gives you 3 cups of soap. So depending on how much you want to use.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Yay.
Well, thanks so much for being on. All right. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.